Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your Libertarian car guy. I'm going to do a quick little walk around here of the 2017 Toyota Tacoma. Last week some of you might remember that I had a Ford F-150, and I was amazed and surprised by just how huge the thing is, even for a guy my size, and I'm 6'3", 200 pounds, and I found that the only way I could put my hand on the bottom of the bed in the back was by standing on my tiptoes. And in order to get into the bed, you literally need a ladder, which is why Ford actually builds one into the tailgate. Point being, they're just really big, and that got me to thinking. I wonder just how big they used to be, because I don't think the trucks in the past used to be so big. So I looked it up, and I found that a mid-late 1990s Chevy 1500 regular cab with an 8-foot long bed is 213.4 inches long end to end. Now, check this out. While I was looking up the stats on the Toyota Tacoma, subject of this rant, and soon to be also the review, which will be up on the site, I found that the access cab version of that, which is essentially the same as the one we're looking at here, just that the rear doors are a little smaller, the cab is a little smaller, but same basic package. Anyway, that thing is 212.3 inches long. So literally, this alleged mid-size truck is only an inch shorter, end-to-end, than a mid-late 90s era full-size 1500 truck was. And that confirmed my impression that today's 1500s have just become gargantuan, and that if you want something that's more comparable to what a 1500 used to be, you should look at something like this Toyota Tacoma, or the other vehicles in this segment, which include the Nissan Frontier and the Chevy Colorado GMC Canyon twins. The only downside, well, there's a couple downsides. One of them is that they will not sell you one of these things, and that's not just Toyota, that's all of them, in a regular cab long bed configuration, which is just too bad, because if they did, then you'd have a vehicle that was functionally as useful as a full-size truck from the 90s was. All of them will only sell you an extended cab or an access cab or whatever the particular name is, or the crew cab version with either a 5-foot or a 6-foot bed, and that's it. So that kind of limits the usefulness of these trucks, unfortunately, which again is too bad. Like, look at how reasonably high the bed walls here on this. Now again, I'm using myself as a reference here. I'm 6'3", and in the current 1500s, like that F truck that I had, or the Chevy Silverado, or any of the other ones, the bed wall is about here, which means that when you get, you can it over trying to get in there, and it's almost impossible. The tailgate, likewise. I mean, that's no problem. I can jump up in here, no sweat. In the other ones, you got probably about another 4 inches to go to get up there, and it's very difficult, even if you are in good shape, athletic, etc., to just get up in there without the aid of a stepladder, which is why the 1500s that are being built now all have stepladders. All right, let's see, something else that I wanted to tell you about the Tacoma that's kind of cool relative to some of the other trucks in this segment, or at least relative to the Nissan Frontier. And I have a Frontier, full disclosure, an older model, but you cannot get the current Frontier in four-wheel drive without also buying the higher trim and the V6 engine. It starts out a lot less expensively in a two-wheel drive version, but if you want four-wheel drive, the price really jumps because they will upsell you into the V6. The Tacoma, on the other hand, is available with four-wheel drive with either the standard four-cylinder or the optional V6. And another thing that distinguishes this truck from both the Frontier and the GMC Canyon, Chevy Canyon Colorado, is that you can get a manual transmission with both of its engines, both the 4 and the 6. You can get a manual in the GM trucks with the base 4, but not with the optional V6. Anyway, that is the gist of this walk around. I will have more info, comment, criticism, etc. up on the site, epautos.com. There's also a rant there about Uber and what Uber has done that's laudatory in terms of trying to fend off Uncle, and that I think VW could have taken a lesson from and should have done. So read about that up on the site, and thanks for viewing, and we'll catch up with you again soon.